Hey everyone, I'm here with Keiran Ball, runner-up of the Makerpad T30 Challenge, and we're going to do a quick workshop on what he built with daily.so. And yeah, Kieran, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to me, and looking forward to seeing how on earth you built this thing. Do you give us a quick intro to you and what it is, and then we can dive in?
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for having me. So yeah, I entered the T30 Challenge. I'd had this idea in my head about kind of how difficult it is with an online community to get everyone, or even a team, when everyone's kind of working remotely and maybe in different time zones. It's really difficult to get everyone on a call at the same time. And then I always find that if I get like 10 people, if I'm lucky, on a call, only about 3 or 4 of those will speak, and everyone else will just sit there in silence. So I was thinking there must be a better way to do this that's more asynchronous, but I still really love having video contact with people. And obviously, you know, when you're on things like Instagram, you get video updates from your friends who are the kind of people who do Instagram stories, but you don't ever get that with people who you know from Twitter or anything like that. So the idea behind daily is that you could essentially take an experience like Instagram stories, where you're recording kind of selfie videos and just talking through stuff, and do it with a small private group of people. So I set up a few different groups with friends, and there's one with a load of people from Twitter, and we just do kind of very brief updates, like 30-second update. And then at the end of the day, you can watch back everyone else's updates, and you can comment on them and then start messaging people. So it's quite cool. And I'm hoping it will turn into a proper like tool that could be monetized, but at the moment it's kind of just a fun project.
Love it. So you built it in Bubble, is that right?
Yeah, I built it in Bubble.
Nice. So immediately people are going to be like, how on earth did you build that in Bubble? So should we take a look?
Yeah, sure. All right, you need to enable screen sharing.
2 seconds. Okay, should be good to go.
Okay, can you see that?
I can.
Right, so this is the landing page designed in Bubble. I'm terrible at design, so it's a very basic landing page that I couldn't think of much to put on. I did have a nice little animated GIF, which I've included here. I actually made that in Apple Keynote, which is like a presentation maker, but you can do little animations and stuff like that. So that worked out quite well.
Nice.
And then I'll show you what daily looks like from a user's point of view. So this is like your start page here, and you can either view the dailies that are outstanding, or you can record a new one. And then down here, you've got a list of all the people which are in your group. So this group pretty quickly, but most of these people have never done a video. They just kind of saw a link that I posted on Twitter and signed up, and then were too nervous to make a video. And then so this is the number of videos that you've done, and this is whether or not you've got a streak going, which means you've done a few videos within 48-hour periods.
Nice.
So if you press record, so this is like one of the best features of it, is that you record straight into the browser. So this only actually works well on Chrome and Firefox. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on iOS, but it's using some like kind of HTML5 video recorder, and this is the bit that people are always like, wow, that's really cool, because you can just press start recording, stop recording, and it works really well on mobile as well. If you're on Android, if you're on iOS, not so well. But like, for example, if I start recording there, I've got a nice little countdown timer. It doesn't actually enforce itself, but it just gives you an idea and keeps you nice and concise. And then you can stop and press upload. I'm not going to upload that because that will actually go to all the no coders who are going to watch it. And then you can also, so I've just added a feature now. So, well, for example, I can change group here to one of the other ones I've got with my friends or with other little communities. So when I'm walking home from work, sometimes I'll just record like 5 different 30-second videos, each for a different group. And I'm just keeping in touch with them, and they're getting to see my face and get an update. And I've also just added a feature here where anyone can now invite someone else to join us, and or they can create their own private group. So ideally, some of these people who are using it and enjoy it will start making private groups with their friends or with other communities, and then I'll eventually find a kind of compelling use case for it. So
Nice.
in terms of how it's built, it's actually one of the smallest projects I've done. It's pretty simple, and I think some of these pages actually don't even do anything. But you've got the front page, and then the main page is called Start. Do you want me to talk through like the database structure, or is there any particular way you want me to?
Yeah, let's do it. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are spending some time building out things in Bubble at the moment. So, and also we have the Bubble Challenge going on. If you're watching this video in the month of November 2020, we actually have a Bubble Challenge on at the moment. So yeah, this is very timely.
Right, so this is, I mean, the database is always one of the first things I think about with a project. And I know this looks like there's tons and tons of stuff on here, but actually a lot of these fields are just whether or not a user has seen a specific kind of pop-up or where I've said like new feature alert and things like that. So I just record that on the user, so I know that once they've seen a pop-up, they don't see it again. So I've got users. Obviously users can, so if they sign up properly, they can create a community, and within the community they can create multiple groups. So my idea was that, you know, someone like you would sign up, you'd create Makerpad as a community, then you'd say, okay, I want to have a group for the Bubble Challenge, I want to have a group for maybe the Makerpad team, a group for experts, and so on. So you could create all those different groups, and when you create a group, it also creates an invitation. So you then get an invite link which you could share, and when people click on that link, they would go directly into that group. But they wouldn't have a manager account where they can create more groups, except now they can, because I've added that as a new feature. Days of the week, oh my God, I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole of why I need that, but it's
Okay.
that was a bit of a, yeah, that was a nightmare, because at the moment it sends out daily reminders of email reminders to say like, don't forget to do your daily. But then some people said they wanted to do it weekly, so I created the ability for them to do it weekly, but I wanted them to be able to specify what day of the week they get a reminder on, and that's actually a complete nightmare. That's tricky. Then there's, so comments, I think I got rid of that and replaced that with messages now. So if you comment on someone's video, it sends that user a message, and I created a nice little, originally it sent them an email, but then I didn't want to share people's emails without their consent. So now I created its own little messaging, internal messaging system. So it sends you a DM, and then it will notify that person by email that they have a new message, but they have to click in to reply. And then obviously videos. So videos are attached to groups, which are attached to the community. So the start page, which is the first page you see, this is a group. So the page is linked to a specific group, but if you have more than one group, you have that drop down that I showed you where you can select another group to look at. And then it just has a repeating group here, which is a search for users, where their list of groups contains the current page group. So if you're a user, you can be in multiple groups, as I showed you. And I've also got a switch where I can archive users if I think they're not going to use it.
Nice.
And then in terms of so if you click record your daily, it will take you to the page Go. So this is probably the bit that people are wanting to know how it works, and I don't really know how it works. Is the question, is the answer. So basically, I've used this same plugin a few times. I had a guy I work with who's a coder build a plugin. I said to him, "Is it possible to record video in the browser?" Because I'd seen it done on some other sites, and he found this thing called Media Recorder. I think it's called. It's like a HTML5 JavaScript thing, and he turned it into a Bubble plugin.
Nice.
And
so now anyone can use it in their Bubble app.
Well, it's not on the.
Is it private?
It's private. It's not on the plugin store. But I've had quite a few people ask me if they could use it, and I just think I need to get him to tidy up a bit how it works, because it's not very intuitive at all in terms of how you set it up. But so, for example, like I think that was his first time building a Bubble plugin, and I think he's just not fully understood like the most logical way to set up a Bubble plugin. So it works.
It works. That's fine.
Yeah. So it basically initializes this media recorder, and I've had to put in these things here. So this basically says if it's iOS, they have a kind of different user experience, but the Android people get this in-browser recorder. And you've got this input to data media recorder controller, and then you specify the input element and the button element that is going to make it record. So when button start recording is pressed, I've got a custom state which says recording equals yes, and then it starts the media recorder, and then I've got that. The 30-second countdown is actually just a number, and then every second, so I've got this, do every second when the custom state recording is yes, and it basically does the countdown and takes one number off each second.
Oh, nice. Like it.
Which I thought that was like, there's no way that would work, but it actually works absolutely perfectly. Which is why I love Bubble, because you can just like crazy things like that, and it just works fine.
Like it.
So, and then there's also another plugin, which is, so Bubble actually has a limit on the, I think it didn't used to, but it now has a limit on the amount of storage you get with each plan. And I was going to quickly hit that because videos are so big. So the same guy also built me a AWS uploader plugin. So basically, when you record that video, the file is then ready to upload to AWS, and it's linked to my own AWS bucket. So all the videos go there. There are some AWS uploaders on the Bubble plugin store, but I got him to have a look at them, and he said that some of them are not that secure. So this actually goes to a private bucket, so it should be pretty secure.
Got it.
And then obviously the great thing about Bubble is you can have two different pages, one for mobile and one for web. So I've specified a different version of this page just because I had difficulty making this preview image responsive.
Yep.
And do you have any questions about that page? I realize I haven't explained totally how it works, but I don't know if I can go into any more detail than that.
No, that's fine. I think it's just one of the things that people obviously like to see, like how you thought about it and then how it's actually operating. But yeah, no, that's great to see behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, the real challenge with this is that when you record videos this way, as I said, it works on like Chrome browser, but it outputs a file which is called .webm, and .webm files are great, but they are not compatible with iOS. So on iOS, you can record a video, but you can't watch it back unless I was to convert all the videos from .webm into .mp4 or something like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Which would make perfect sense for an app where you're not recording such a volume of videos, but because they're daily videos, the cost, even though it seems small, would just add up so quickly that it just wouldn't be worthwhile. So the way I'm doing it now is, although it's like not cross compatible, it just makes more financial sense because there's not really much cost associated. And then so this is the page for viewing the daily. So I didn't do that. I could show you what it looks like to watch the daily, but I found this great plugin, HTML5 video player it's called, and it's made by this guy Matteo Bancos, I think, who I've been in touch with before because he just makes these really good plugins for Bubble, and he's a really nice guy. And it basically lets you do a playlist instead. So instead of just one video, you can do a playlist, which is why when you watch back the daily, originally I had wanted to like combine them all into one video, but then I realized that's too expensive. But it just plays one video after the other. And well, yeah, I want to play it back, but I don't really want to show people's like random videos.
Yeah, okay.
But basically, as you watch it back, like the name of the person and the time they uploaded it and their Twitter handle is shown up here, and it changes with each video.
Okay.
If you start typing a comment,
you had the demo of it though. You created a video, didn't you, to promote it? We can link that under which shows that working.
Yeah, that would be cool. So if you start typing a comment while you're watching someone's video, and then it automatically goes to the next video, your comment will still be associated with the video where you started typing it, which I thought was quite important because otherwise you'd be typing and then suddenly you send it to the wrong person. When you start typing, a little thing comes up saying commenting on such and such's video, and then that will stay there. And then when you press send and start typing again, it will go to the next person's. And the way I did that is it was a bit of trial and error, but so it's basically a combination of custom states and so there's a plugin called Input Monitor. So when you start typing, it knows you're typing and it changes these custom states, and it changes one called commenting on it, changes it to so the video playlist, current video number, and their creator. So it puts the name of the person there. And then it basically detects when you're still typing. And then when you press send, it kind of resets that. So when you press, yeah, when you press send, builds an API workflow to create a new message. And that's just because I wanted to make it as fast as possible. So anytime I want to do something quickly that I don't want to be loading for too long, I do it in a back-end workflow, because then it can take as long as it wants. Nice. So it takes the body of what you've typed, the user, your user, and then the user you're commenting on, and it sends that to a back-end workflow, and that creates the message. And then it resets the state of who you're commenting on at the end of that. And you can also just do a like, and that will send a message to the person to say you like their video.
Nice.
And then in the inbox, so this is basically, yeah, a messaging thing. So there's something called conversations. So that is like a relationship between two users, and then this is a repeating group that just shows all the conversations you've got, so with different users, and the text of the last message that was sent, and it will be bold if you have unread messages, and then just hide. And then within, so if you click on one of those, it goes into a separate, it hides that group, and it shows another group that has a a repeating group with all the messages between the two of you, and it has the sender and the time they sent it. If you haven't read it before, it will mark it as bold, and then you can obviously type a message back here and press send, and it will add it to the bottom. And then there is, yeah, so when you click on a specific conversation, it will then schedule this API workflow that runs in like 5 seconds time, and it will say that you've seen all the messages. So when you first press it, the message shows as bold, and then after 5 seconds it shows that you've read it. So it's kind of like quite a nice experience. And it also automatically scrolls down to the bottom message. I can show you the inbox. I think there's nothing terribly private in there. So yeah, it's just like a normal kind of chat.
So what was the hardest thing about getting this done then, if there's one point?
Well, the hardest thing really is the video capture and upload to AWS.
Got it.
Everything else, anything to do with like text and data is fine. For some reason, I always like seem to end up doing projects that involve video, and it can be really difficult because there's just so many things that can go wrong. And there are still bugs. Like sometimes some people just tell me, oh, I got an error, and I'm asking them what browser and stuff they're using, and it's like Chrome. Like Michael Novotny was trying to use it, and he's using Chrome on a Mac exactly the same as me, and he has not been able to upload a video. Like he keeps trying, but the video is just empty. Crazy. And I have no idea why that is. And like without properly getting a developer to inspect like his browser and stuff while he's doing it, I don't think I'll ever know, nice. Which is painful.
Well, thanks
yeah, that's it.
Nice. Thanks very much for taking the time to show us. That was great. Good work, and congratulations on running up again. Congratulations on your Makerpad swag, and yeah, we'll look forward to you creating some more. Yes, there it is. Creating some more bubble content soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's good to chat and good to share something.
Amazing. Speak again soon.
Yeah, cool. Cheers.
Bye.